Hello everyone! In this video we're going to complete the KutaSoftware Infinite PreAlgebra free worksheet Markup, Discount, and Tax hard. So I'll leave a link in the description below so you know how to access this free KutaSoftware website worksheet. Our instructions are to find the selling price of each item. Now if you haven't done so already, I recommend going to the Markup, Discount, and Tax easy worksheet and going through a couple of those problems before jumping into this one. In that previous worksheet, all we had to make was one change for each problem, where in this worksheet, we're going to have to do at least two every time. Now the important thing to note about this is that when I do a markup and a tax, we know that the markup is increasing that price, and we also know that the tax is increasing that price. So you would think, oh, I should just be able to combine those together. But unfortunately, we can't. Because the markup occurs first on our list, we're going to do the markup first of that original price. And then with that new price, then we'll tax that. So we can't combine the markup and tax and get the correct result. We have to do the markup first and then the tax. So let me go ahead and explain that with a little bit of math. So remember, for markup, we're going to take that percentage as a decimal and add it to 1. So we're going to multiply our original by 1.20. And for the tax, same concept. We're going to take 1 and a decimal of 2%, which will be 1.02. So doing the markup first, I'm going to take my original price of $29.95 and multiply it by 1.20. So doing that, 29.95 times 1.20 is going to give me $35.94. Now that I have my next price of $34.95, I am going to tax this price. Not the original price, but $35.94 is now going to be taxed because we've changed that purchase price. So now I'm going to take my $35.94 and multiply it by 1.02 to tax it. So I'm going to take that 35.94, multiply it by 1.02, and that's going to give me $36 and, when rounding, 66 cents. So $36.66 is the total price of those shoes after the markup and then after the tax. Now, just like I said before, lots of times people think, oh, well, markup and tax are both increasing those values. So I'm going to just multiply $29.95 by 1.22, combining those through addition. This is the incorrect way to think about it, because then you can see we're marking up the original price and taxing just that original price, where those prices need to change. And go ahead and do this math. Let's do it on the calculator really quick. $29.95 times 1.22 does not give us $36.66. It gives us $36.54, which doesn't match the correct answer. However, let's look at our math, because there's an easier way to do this with a little less writing, although we're still doing those same techniques. If you look here, we have $29.95 times $1.20, and that was our $35.94. So if I replace $35.94 with $29.95 times 120, look what I would have. I'd have my original purchase price of $29.95 multiplied by 1.20, because that is $35.94, and then I'll multiply that by what's left, which is 1.02. So if I do out all that multiplication, look on our calculator, we're going to get that same result. $29.95 times 1.2 times 1.02, that's going to give us $36.66. So the same answer. So as opposed to adding that markup with the tax, we just multiply those values together. So let's move on, continuing with this method. It says that the cost of a microscope is $269.95 with a markup of 43% and a tax of 5%. So how would we write that in decimal form? Well, we would need to multiply the original purchase price by 1.43. That's 0.43 plus 1. And then for the tax, we also add that percentage as a decimal to 1. So that'll be 1.05. And now, as shown in that previous example, we're just going to multiply our original purchase price with both of those adjusted decimals. So we'll have $269.95. We'll multiply that by 1.43 and then multiply that by 1.05. And the nice thing about multiplication is it's commutative, so it doesn't matter in the order we multiply. I'll just go left to right. So we have $269.95 times 1.43 times 1.05. That's going to give us $405 and rounding 33 cents. So $405.33. And the way to round is you round to that closest penny. So $405.33. Moving right along to number 3, again, we have a markup and a tax. So we're going to convert each of those to a decimal and add them to 1. So this will be 1.29 and this will be 1.02. And again, that's changing them both to a decimal. So this would be 0.29 and this would be 0.02 because we're moving that decimal place over twice. And then we're adding those to 1. That's how I get my 1.29 and my 1.02. So now let's multiply those 3 numbers together. I've got my original cost of the goldfish at $3.45 multiplied by 1.29 multiplied by 1.02. 345 times 1.29 times 1.02, that's going to give us about $4.54. In number 4, the cost of shoes is $99.99. We have a markup of 9% and a tax of 4%. So that's original is going to be multiplied by 1.09, so 1 900ths, and then the tax is going to be 1 400ths, 1.04. So again, $99.99 times 1.09 times 1.04. Let's do that on the calculator. That's going to give us $113.35. That's the cost of our shoes after the markup and tax. In number 5, we're switching things up because now we no longer have a markup and tax, we have a markup and a discount. But just like with the markup and tax, we can't just add those decimals together. We have to take into account the original cost with the markup when we do the discount. So we're not doing the discount on that original price, we're doing it after it's already marked up. So just like above, as opposed to adding those decimals, we're going to be multiplying them together. So remember, for a markup, we add that decimal to 1. So this is going to be 1 plus 0.25, which gives us 1.25. The difference between that and a discount is that as opposed to adding that decimal to 1, we are subtracting it from 1. So we do 1 minus 0.45 when we're calculating that discount. Because if something is 45% off, then, well, 1 minus 0.45 is going to be 0.55. So again, if something is 45% off, we're only paying for 55% of the purchase price. So let's go ahead and multiply all those numbers together. $14.95 times 1.25 times 0.55. On our calculator, 14.95 times 1.25 times 0.55, 10.278, which rounds to $10.28. Moving on to number 6, again, we're dealing with a markup and then a discount. So that markup, adding that decimal to 1, that's going to be 1.63. And for the discount, that's going to be 1 minus 50%, so 1 minus 0.5, which is 0.5. So taking that original $23.50, we're going to multiply it by 1.63 and then multiply it by 0.5. $23.50 times 1.63 times 0.5, that's $19.15. And number 7, the cost of a puppy is $349.99 with a markup of 41% and a discount of 23%. So marking that cost of the puppy up, we'll multiply it by 1.41, and then that price that we get after we multiply that will then discount. So we'll do 1 minus 0.23 will get multiplied. And 1 minus 0.23 is going to be 0.77. $349.99 times 1.41 times 0.77. Doing that on the calculator, we get $379.98. That's the price of the puppy after a markup and then a discount. The cost of an oil change is $19.95. The markup is 85%, and then we've got a discount of 48%. Marking it up is adding that decimal to 1, so 1.85. Discounting it is subtracting that decimal from 1. So 1 minus 0.48 is going to be 0.52. So $19.95, the original price, times 1.85 times 0.52, that's going to give us $19.19. Now, moving on to that next page. So now we're doing a different combination. We're doing a discount and a tax, but we're going to go about this the same way. We have that discount of 42%, and then tax increases that price. So our discount, remember, we're taking 1 and subtracting that decimal. So 1 minus 0.42 is going to leave us with 0.58. So that gets multiplied to the purchase price, and then that new price will get multiplied by 1 plus 0.06, which is 1.06. But as opposed to multiplying out those first two numbers, calculating that and then multiplying it by that third, I'm just going to multiply all three numbers together at once. So we're going to have $20 times 0.58 times 1.06, multiplying to get the discount and then the tax. And that'll give us $12 and rounding up to 30 cents. $12.30 for the cost of the microphone. In number 10, it says the original price of a jacket is $269.50 with a discount of 24% and a tax of 6%. So that discount, 1 minus 0.24, is going to leave us with 0.76. And then that tax, 1 plus 0.06, will be 1.06. So multiplying each of those to $269.50, $269.50 times 0.76 times 1.06, that's going to give us $217.11. That's how much you actually pay for the jacket. And number 11, the original price of a lizard is $39.99 with a discount of 40% and then a tax of 6%. So discounting it, 1 minus 0.4 is going to be 0.6 or 60% as a decimal, and then the tax 6%, that's going to be 1.06. 1 plus 0.06 gives us 1.06. So we have $39.99 multiplied by 0.6 and then multiplied again by 1.06. Each of those are multiplied together. So doing so on the calculator, we get $25.43. For number 12, the original price of a microphone is $49.99. And we're discounting it by 5%. So 1 minus 0.05, that's going to be 0.95. So we're taking 95% of that original cost, and then after that, we're going to tax it by 5%. So that's going to be multiplied by 1.05. 1 plus 5%. 100% plus 5%. 1 plus 0.05. Multiplying all those numbers together, we'll get $49.87 after using that calculator. In number 13, we're switching things up again because we have now a markup, discount, and a tax. But the same concept applies. We're going to find those decimals, adjust them by either subtracting from 1 or adding 1, and then multiply all my numbers together. So markup of 10% is going to be 1.1 that we wind up multiplying. A discount of 40% is 60% of that original, because that's 1 minus 0.4. That's what gives us the 0.6. And then a tax of 5%, adding that to 1 is 1.05. So taking all three of those new numbers and multiplying it by $10.50, on the calculator, doing this out, 1050 times 1.1 times 0.6 times 1.05 gives us $7.28. And number 14, a pen is a little less than $2, but we're marking it up 70%, then discounting it 40%, and then taxing it 5%. So a markup of 70% will multiply by 1.7. To discount, 1 minus 0.4 is going to be 0.6, and then the tax, that's going to be 1.05 for a 5% tax when we multiply it out. So we'll take $1.95, multiply it by 1.7, multiply it by 0.6, and then multiply that by 1.05. So now going to the calculator, we'll get about $2.09. Now, if you're finding this video helpful so far, as we continue on, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to my channel so that you're updated when I come out with new videos. But for number 15, the cost of a computer game is $4.99. We've got a markup, we've got a discount, and we've got a tax. So the markup of 40% will eventually multiply by 1.4. The discount of 55%, subtracting 0.55 from 1, will multiply by 0.45. And then a tax of 1% will multiply eventually by 1.01 when figuring out the new price. So $4.99 times 1.4 times 0.45 times 1.01, what's that going to be? Let's go to our calculator. That's going to be $3.80. $2.18. And lastly on this video, number 16. We have a markup of 35%, which will eventually multiply by 1.35 to that 31.50. And then that gets multiplied by our discount, which 1 minus 0.3 is going to be 0.7. And then that will all get multiplied to our tax, added to 1, which is 1.01. So we'll have $31.50 times 1.35 to take into account the markup, and then we're going to multiply that by 0.7 to discount that new marked up price, and then we're going to tax that new discounted of the marked up price by 1%. So to the calculators, one last time, $31.50 times 1.35 times 0.7 times 1.01 gives us a total of $30.70. That's our final solution on this free KutaSoftware website worksheet. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. But as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again. See you next video.